Hey everyone, Dave Hamlin, Glory Days Automotive Restoration. So, I've been working on a video that I'm getting ready to post here, and this is the introduction. But if you're getting ready to restore an automobile, and whether or not you have done it before or not is besides the point, there are some automobiles out there, we're talking classic antique cars that, an antique car, or even most of the cars that we work on here, a lot of shops don't take anything much past 1970. 1980 might be a cutoff line, I would say. I really don't want too many of the 80s model cars in here, but the earlier stuff, you're getting into cars that are, well, if it's 1980, it's got to be at least 35 years old. That's a long period of time in an automobile's life. Honestly, automobiles aren't designed to last that long. They've been ridden hard and put away wet, let's just say that much. And over the course of their lifetime, many of them have been in accidents and gone to a repair shop, or needed to have repair and gone to a repair shop, whatever the story. But what I'm getting at, there's probably already been work done to the automobiles that quite often is not very good quality work. So alongside of something else that those of us who earn our livings restoring cars, we have to deal with all that. And for a couple of the cars that I'm going to show you in this video, there's just two. I've narrowed it down just to 2 videos, and I'm showing several segments of cars that are in our shop currently that just demonstrate some of the work that's been done on them in the past. I'm not ragging on the cars, their owners, or anybody else. This is more just people have paid good money to have work done on their cars in the past, and this is some of the work that we're having to go back and fix now. That's what I'm showing. So hope you like this, and it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to try to do a couple more videos kind of like this, just to kind of demonstrate to people what you get when you sit there and go, well, this shop's too expensive. I'm going to take it to the guy down the road that is, thousands of dollars cheaper or hundreds of dollars cheaper. And you don't understand why. I understand it's real difficult for somebody to explain to a person why you should pay them the premium price. Well, this is why. And so hope you enjoy the video and have a good day. How you doing? Dave Hamlin, Glory Days Automotive Restoration. I don't even know what the date is. Who cares? Anyways, today I went up and looked at a 1968 Porsche 911 short wheelbase car, and it's pretty rough. It needs work, but it's a good starting point. It's a complete car. And I talked to the customer, told him I was interested in doing the restoration, and he's just dropped it off. So allow me to show you our 1968 Porsche 911. We're going to have to do floor pans in the car throughout the whole thing, and you can see the rocker panel is pretty bubbly. It's going to need rocker panels. Now, somebody's done some work on this thing before, and they tried to black out all the car. So, like, the chrome rings around the headlights are now black, and the chrome bezel here for the vents, that's now black, and they welded on brackets for a tow bar to tow it behind the vehicle. That will all be fixed. This customer wants this car brought back to how it rolled out the factory, and I'm very excited to comply with that. This is going to be great. I'm not terribly familiar with Porsches. Not to the level of going through and restoring one, bringing it back to factory original condition. There's a lot of things that I'll have to learn, but hey, that's just part of the fun. 68 Porsche 911 today, and on the driver's side of the car, the rocker panels and the lower portion of this panel has been put on, and underneath the filler here there's spot welds going all the way down through, and it's going to look like the other side of the car, driver's side. But I'm going to scroll in here so that you can see what someone has done in the past. And I think, yeah, if I can zoom in, and that right there is the inside of the door jamb, and oozing through it is body filler. So at some point in time in this car, when this car had all the work done, I guess that's as good as it's going to get, but you can see the body filler oozing through. Okay, the second part of my video today, discussing how this was skimmed over with body filler and everything, and I just happened to think, oh, they skimmed over the torsion bar hole, access hole. And if we flip around, you can see this hole right here, but not here. The other thing they did is, we look here, there's a second skin. So they skimmed over it and never made access for it. Alright everyone, I'm going to add in this little video and just show you. I've gone through and cut all the spot welds down across the door sill and coming across this lower rear quarter, and I have it all pulled away. And let me stick a screwdriver in here. You can still see the metal, the original metal of the car. They didn't remove the old metal, they skimmed over it and then put a large portion of body filler. But here's the sheet metal right here. I just wanted to show this to people. Alright, so I have the spot welds cut on the rocker panel and across the sheet metal that went across the lower quarter panel. And I have not drilled out the rivets going across the bottom of the rocker panel, pardon me, and getting my terms confused. But I'm going to show you what I found so far. And this is not a repair. Not a repair. This is bullshit. Somebody paid really good money to have this done years ago. They were robbed. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I opened up the garage door. This is the second time I'm filming this section, but I just want to show everybody what was done to this car and get good footage of it. Allow me to pick up a screwdriver, but you know, obviously, here's the hole. This is the rust that this car already had. Some chucklehead put a skin, which is this right here, over the old rocker panel. They didn't even bother to remove it or anything. They did not repair this car. They hid the problem that this car had. And this is all completely rotted out. This section here, you could just see all the body filler poking through. And there was a little bit of video footage of that earlier on. And yeah, that wasn't terribly difficult. But in through this whole entire section was body filler poking through, and this is gonna be a pain in the ass. And we're working on our 63 MGB, and I'm just showing you this is previous sheet metal work that's been done on the car. The owner had the floor pans replaced in this thing, I don't know how many years ago, quite a few. You can see in these pinch welds, as I get my finger into the camera here, coming across, We had the car media blasted and it came back. We took the car to a soft strip down in Wichita, Kansas. And I like using soft strip, although their process, because of they're using the type of media they use and they shoot it at 60 psi, it doesn't always get all the seam sealer out of the cracks like this. So I'd rather not warp any panels. The sheet metal on an MGB is pretty thin, so I'd rather use them and then come back, spend some time and clean up the seam sealer, which is what we're doing. But this is what we find underneath is rust. And then as I scroll down, here's a previous repair that was done, and here's what we're thinking. An automobile is really as good as the sheet metal work that's done. And when you do stuff like this really isn't very good quality, and you have to realize that this is a unibody constructed car. So the frame on this is integrated into the shell. So when you do all this poor quality work, well, it gives you poor quality strength, really. So we're not really going to do much about it aside to just clean some things up. Maybe we throw a few more longer beads in here and strengthen it up a little bit better, but to be quite honest, so as we're cleaning the 63 MGB, Jason's been wire wheeling the whole bottom of this car to get out the excess seam sealer. And if you look right here, Jason, point out how many layers we have.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers.
6 layers of sheet metal in this area. 6 layers. Is that really necessary? I tend to think that it isn't. I can understand 3. That's usually what they'll end up doing, but that just makes me believe that people didn't take out the existing panels or trim off, panels and stuff like that. Kind of like they do a half-ass job about.
Might even be 7 layers.
Might even be 7. That's outstanding. That's great. I'm sure that adds to the structural rigidity of the vehicle. But it actually is a great way to trap moisture and oxygen in between the panels and create rust. To be honest. Repeat customers, correct? Yes, that's.
Create your own work.
Yes, create your own work. Repeat customers, exactly. So. Watch the shops that you take your cars to. There's a lot of guys out there that just do half-ass work. There's a reason that an automotive restoration shop probably has a higher price than the guy down the street that's doing restoration work out of his home garage. And that's it, really. It's the quality of the work that you're getting is really what the. And as I'm standing here showing you, here's another section of an older floor pan right here that just got set on. So, do your research, people.